Good evening, everyone, and welcome tonight to the update. This is day number 93. Tonight's going to be a phenomenal night. It is extremely full. So many things have unfolded in the last 23 hours. Rainwater games. Okay, you getting that comment put up, brother, as soon as it rolls through here. I have Zhenya with me tonight. Going to be fantastic. Rainwater, you get the award for the night and the cheer, of course. Literally driving the motorhome over a mountain pass and told the wife she needed to drive because I had to watch PG. Hey, I'd like to actually have your view right now. I'm sure it is beautiful. Donna Adams has given us a good evening from South Butler School District. Awesome. Ricochet, yeah, hope you enjoyed the paint job on the F-16 0353. Only Jedi person know that wears a star for a MiG kill from 1999. Yes, sir, I did. I checked her out. So thank you guys. Tonight is a full hour. You know, I say it each night, but it's absolutely unbelievable the things that happen every 23 hours. Zhenya and I are going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about some very, very detailed things. And I really want you to stay tuned in, tell others, share it to others, because tonight you're going to see some Americans in action. Did I say that? Yes, I did. You're going to see some Americans in action doing a phenomenal job. Over there helping Ukrainians, not behind the lines, but on the front lines. So you're going to see some stuff there. We have lots of updates, especially on the side of Ukraine and their thoughts to what's going on. Let me tell you what's happening, though, in a nutshell. Right now, this very minute, 9:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4:06 a.m. in Ukraine, Kharkiv is being demolished. And unbelievable attack has been unleashed from the air on Kharkiv. Of course, in the pocket, we'll be looking at maps and doing the analysis tonight, but it's pretty nasty. Last night, I showed you some of the thermobaric or the vacuum type bombs that were being used on the front lines of Ukraine. We will speak about that a little bit more tonight, but I can tell you we lost a lot of good soldiers last night. They were burned up. So it's been a very, very difficult day for President Zelensky, very difficult day on the global scene as far as trying to get the truth out. And we're going to get into some pretty deep things. So without further ado, I want to get it rolling. Thank you all for being here. And this is going to be a loaded hour. And I'm just going to make this statement right now. We're getting closer than ever to big time war. And I know it's really interesting, and I know other things take precedence. I know that other stories come and go, and I do not minimize any of those stories, but I'm here to tell you this is the global story, and we're not going to leave it. We're going to keep rolling on it, and I'm telling you, I keep saying that every night, but I'm telling you, this getting ready to get even uglier. Kaylin Foster said 300 Ukrainians landed in Canada a few hours ago, and they looked so happy. I guarantee you they're happy. So kudos to Canada for helping. They're doing a good job. Everybody is doing a good job, but we're going to talk about that in detail. I'm very concerned tonight with the good job is going to cause many more problems. We know that there are discussions on the table for longer range weapon systems to be potentially approved to be delivered to Ukraine from the United States next week. And that's wonderful. But tonight, really going to get into some theory behind that I believe that even though that's wonderful, it's not enough. And it could have the reverse effect, meaning, well, you'll see, meaning we need to get some boots on the ground. Seriously. Because if not, hello, Poland, we're coming. Hello, Moldova, we're coming. And the world's going to wake up one morning and we're going to look at this and go, how did we miss this? Well, you're not missing it. We're telling you. Some are telling you, but we'll see. So, folks, here we go. Zhenya, good morning and welcome to you. Like the good job Germany has done with the slow roll of actually helping, but helping who? Yeah, that's exactly right. Hello from Dean Foods. The milk is rolling over there. Like the good job Germany has done. Exactly. It's Well, we're creating some problems, folks. And when I say we, not the United States alone, but the world in general. And once again, the complexities of the situation. But we're going to be talking about it, and it'll be made clear here. You do not want to miss it. You definitely don't want to miss what's coming up with watching some American boys with their drones and the Ukrainians. Going to be awesome. All right, here we go, Zhenya. Let's roll. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you.
It's day number 93.
Добрый вечер.
Dobry вечер. That's good evening, everybody. It's nice to see you in here. And we've got a full update tonight. It's a Friday night and day number 93. What's crazy to think about is that in 7 days, it will be day 100. Honestly, brother, on day one, when the missiles started flying, you and I were together, and I had no idea it would be this long. Did you?
Same.
Okay.
Same with me. I could bet,
Absolutely. And
no way.
We would have lost. So tonight, full update. And as always, I never give you the script. I never tell you. I have a few videos to share. I've got the little clip you sent me for some of the stuff we're doing. This is what we're going to talk about. The title of the program tonight is Why is Number 7 Important in This War? And we'll get to that in a moment. But let's just get started here. It's a Friday night. Let's not waste any more time. And let's jump right into it. So, of course, a lot of the military veterans that are in here that watch this update each night, they're veterans of wars. And they even say that if you do not have any humor during the war, you'll go crazy. So a lot of the guys that watch this program are Vietnam veterans and had a very, very difficult time in Vietnam. But they say if you're not trying to laugh, have a joke. So, of course, nobody can read this here, but you and I will go ahead and translate it. That's Lukashenko on the left and Putin on the right. And what most people don't know, I actually have video of this. These two guys, pretty good hockey players, and they play together. But that says maybe we should denazify hockey. So people try to get a laugh anywhere they can. And you don't know this, but where we're at here in Pennsylvania, it's Pittsburgh Penguin territory. So the hockey fans in here, they won't think that one's too funny, but it's okay. We're trying to show them the real side of war. You've got to have some smiles because there's enough sadness. I want to go here because this picks up on something that we talked about, or I talked about last night. You're aware the Italian Prime Minister called Putin yesterday?
Not really. Maybe you will be surprised.
Good. It's okay. Italian Prime Minister called and had a long conversation about the war, about the blockades, about the food, and then he reported back to the media with one word: hopeless. Bez nadezhda. Putin. This goes back to what the Estonian lady said. I think she's the foreign minister. She said, stop calling him. Stop calling Vladimir Putin. And I think that's where we're at. But I'm showing this tweet because today, Vladimir Zielinski spoke with the Prime Minister of Italy, Draghi, informed about the situation on the front lines. We expect further defense support from our partners, raised the issues of fuel supply, ways to prevent the food crisis were discussed. We have to unblock the ports together. So I was talking about how the world leaders that are beginning to deal with Putin are starting to figure out what we've already known. And that is, you're wasting your time. He's not. I just want to say he doesn't care. What do you think?
Yes, and I think it was announced many times. It was proclaimed many
Yes.
times, and
Why?
it is not just a nice. It's like it's same. We're coming back to the same situation that it's like talking and having nice speeches before our own nation and the other nations, being like being active and on an international, let's say, field, politic
Hmm.
field. That it seems to me it's all about that, and trying to make a picture that we fight, we're trying to do something. To fix situation and stop this war without blood and so on. It
Well,
seems to me it's like that.
I think you're spot on, and everybody keeps talking, but each day, every 23 hours, we do an update, and it's really shocking how much happens in 23 hours. And then
Mm-hmm.
how a lot of it is thematically connected. So tonight,
Mm-hmm.
through our conversation, we're going to talk about several things, whether it's President Zelensky, whether it's Podoliak, Boris Johnson, other presidential leaders such as Duda.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 93 days, but they're beginning to call it black and white. In fact, that was what Klitschko said last night in a video clip I played, was this is
Mm-hmm.
black and white. Ukrainian blood is being shed. Now, with that said,
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, let's move over to, let's start with Belarus tonight. You can see there that
Okay.
three regions there on the image on the left. There's three
Mm-hmm.
regions in Belarus, and I'm going to show this. Let me get this, and let's go to here. Bam. This region in Belarus is, hello, Pin, right there, right in that little
Mm-hmm.
cut in that comes down toward Kiev. On, if you were coming south, on the right here would be Chernobyl, and on the
Mm-hmm.
left would be Chernihiv, and then Kiev.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
this zone right here is locked down. And last night I was talking about all of the movements that Belarus is doing toward the border. And then today, we see that three of these regions have locked down right in that key area above Chernobyl. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think, now we already know that Belarus is involved because they're allowing Russia to do what they want to. Missiles are being fired,
Mm-hmm.
shells have been dropped. We know that there is a huge military presence in this corner here. We
Mm-hmm.
know all of that. But do you think, oh, one more thing. Yesterday, Belarus activated their central command and put it on the border. So, with all of this, do you think it's actually possible that Belarus, with some portion of their troops, could get involved from the north? More than they are, because they're already involved by allowing it to happen. We already know they're also sending arms to Russia. We know that they're allowing free transport, everything. But do you think it comes to the point where, and I know that some Belarusian soldiers don't want any part of this, but there are some that evidently do. Do you think we get to that point? You think Putin's convinced Grandpa Lukashenko?
I think they will try to, let's say, make temperature on that areas much more hot.
Okay.
I don't know which way, but I think this is they want to do. They want to, I mean, distract or like the
Mm-hmm.
attention or take some Ukrainian army let's say, involved in something, some activity, some conflict, some. They will do it different ways.
Right there.
But yeah, I think, even tonight, even tomorrow, we can hear about that, about the changes on that side, and it can be commented like, I mean, it can have comments like, okay, Ukrainians attacked us. This is why we had extra local, extra tension, let's say, on that
we know
field.
it is, and we're going to look at this in a little while. It's so. Today is the hottest the war has been. Yesterday was the hottest it had been. The day before was the hottest it had been, meaning it's getting worse in the East. We are aware of that. Russia, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but it's almost, I think you're right. I think there is a distraction factor here where just by Belarus moving these troops up in here, just by Central Command coming to right here, just by closing this zone right there, Ukraine must pay attention. They cannot not pay attention, because if you didn't and you just assumed that Belarus with Russia is not going to do anything from the north, next thing you know, they're back coming toward Kyiv again. So it's very strategic what's happening. So we'll be watching. That's probably, guys, a little bit of insight there for you as to what's coming, and we're well aware of it. This is just another image here where the troops are loading in. I'll give you that back there, pushing into that corner by Brest, pushing up over Kyiv, and the Central Command is actually right in the middle, and you can see it. The Ukrainian flags, the Ukrainian forces are having to come up. Of course, not the guys on the front line, but our resources and our soldiers are limited. It's not unlimited. And it's obvious when you look at this. There's a strategy here to distract. Now, you sent me go ahead.
I think a lot of work of preparation in that area have been done more than a month ago. It's because I mean it was already like proven, the attitude and the real worth of all the promises of Lukashenko.
Correct.
About we are brothers as a nations and so on and so on. We will never fight against Ukraine, but
here we are.
We see reality. So,
well, the reality is just a couple of days ago, Lukashenko is sitting in Sochi with Vladimir Putin. That's what we saw. That's a fact. I showed some video from that. And here we are, and time's running together, man, but no more than 4 or 5 days later, we have operational command on the northern border. We have zones closed, 3 regions, and we have troops coming. Now, whether it's a poker play, a bluff, it doesn't matter, because we have to respond to it. Now, you sent me just a quick little clip here. I'll put the 2 pictures and the video together, and I'll play it right now. Some of the stuff we're doing there. Here you go.
Hey, we got some more humanitarian aid. It's sets for soldiers. And praise God. Thank you.
And then we've got some unloading of the storage. And then here's the new van. And it looks like you're taking mattresses somewhere, getting ready to roll. So number one, nice to see the van there. Secondly, we're supporting military. You did give me a little bit of insight earlier. I'm just going to show a picture because people many times ask. Of course, we're helping feed the hungry, take care of refugees that come through, help our local citizens in Khmelnytsky, provide medical aid, take care of orphans. But we're also on the other side, medical for the military, whether it be tourniquets or other important medicines, helmets, any type of military equipment that we can get to them. Resources are limited. But today you shared with me, we're also helping with this, and I'll show a picture. How about this?
Yeah.
So we're going 2 variations. So we have the little map there. We're coming out of Khmelnytsky. We're going into the east. And I have one of those, by the way. I do. In fact, my cousin, who you know, Ricky Ray, Picky Pack, we both have them. We have ghillie suits. And but do you know why we have them?
Hunting.
Olin, yes, deer hunting. So what we're doing is we actually dress up in our ghillie suits, and our goal is to give the deer a kiss on the lips, get him as close as we can. But whole different reason that we're supplying them to the east. You told me we're going in 2 colors.
Yes. It's like I wouldn't call it the color, because usually it's a mixture. It's like the.
But we're going a leafy. We're going the ones for the upper northeast, and then towards the southern of Ukraine, it kind of looks like this. It's a browner territory. So we have the right ghillie suits going. So as you guys can see, he's full of comments on the ghillie suits. We'll just leave that one there. No problem. But they are going now. Zhenya, are you ready for this?
Yes.
So
let's try.
As I've had to have debates with people or try to help educate them, and I have to have people try to educate me on Ukraine that have never even been out of their own state. Okay. We're going to drop a little bit of information right now. Over the last 2 or 3 days, we're having some problems with 2 people. You have no idea what's coming, do you?
No.
Okay. Here's the first person that we're having a major problem with currently.
Okay.
So
I'm
not going to say a peep. This is Viktor Yanukovich. He was the what of Ukraine?
The president, for sure.
Yes, 2010 to 2014. Led up to the Orange Revolution. He's a thief.
Yes.
He's a criminal. He is a partner of Putin.
Yeah,
he had a toilet bowl made out of solid gold.
Yes.
Am I telling the truth?
Yes, and he signed the contract for Russian military navy
to take Crimea.
Being like
yeah, he gave away the Black Sea port. But
for 25 years the rent.
Correct. A 25-year lease for the Navy base in Crimea. That's the president that did it. This is why when we talk about, and I've already went back to Kuchma before, but when we talk about this war did not start February the 22nd, it didn't even start in 2014. It even started before that. But 2014 was the initial activity military-wise. And now, of course, we have full-out war. But this has been going on a long time. So I didn't prep him. I just show the picture. So here's what Yanukovych came out and said. This is the former president of Ukraine. He's screaming over the last couple of days, warning Ukraine, be careful. Poland's trying to take over your western part of the country. Poland is trying to invade you, Ukraine. Poland is trying to take you out socially and integrate you into a greater Poland. That's what he's saying. That would be like George Bush saying that to the United States. That's a former president. Now, secondly, he came out. I mean, this is just now, yesterday, today, and says, Ukraine, you need to surrender. You need to give up while you still have any dirt. You need to give up. Folks, the former president of Ukraine. How about this guy?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Now, this one is a question mark right now. The other one, this cat right here, pure clown. Putin's crony. This guy, Peter Poroshenko, first of all, he may be a billionaire in dollars. I don't know. Probably. I put the logo of his candy company down there. Roshan, part of his name. President of Ukraine, 2014, 2019. And he's nicknamed the Chocolate King.
Good chocolate.
Very good chocolate. But there's some questions right now because at the beginning of the war, he did come out strongly and support Zielinski. And he said, we have to be together. We have to stand together. We don't agree on everything, but we're at war right now. So I'm not throwing Peter Poroshenko under the bus yet. But the picture on the left was just a couple of hours ago. He was blocked trying to leave the country at the border. There is different reports. Well, he was going to this meeting. Others are saying, no, he's just trying to leave. We do not know, but these are the two former presidents of this country. And do you know anything else about Poroshenko, or is it still being figured out right now what he's doing?
I would say I would comment it like that. I wouldn't give like a lot of comments on that.
It's fresh. It's fresh.
Yes, I understand, but you know, it's let's say it's not new for people who, I mean, watching different channels and including YouTube channels of political channels and so on. So I would say like this: the future will show the truth,
Fair enough.
It will reveal. I don't know, a lot of things like bad things, like I mean, are opening or maybe announcing or like I mean publishing something. I don't know. I don't know.
Let's say, leave it this way.
I want. Yes.
No bueno.
For Yanukovych, don't even ask me. This is like it's like I mean it's I would make a lot of jokes, a lot of jokes over him because it's like you know it's like it was curious, but you know it's a brilliant example what is going on in Ukrainian society.
Yes,
there is election, there is voting, and sometimes it's like a crazy. But you know, and now we see how many money were spent. It was Russian money.
Yes.
For pro-Russian positions of some politicians on Ukrainian field, let's say.
Well, here's the bottom line. Russia owned him and owns him. Period. You know, the other guy they own is Kadyrov, the Chechen. Russia owns him. I looked him up today, and do you know what Russia pays him every year as the leader of Chechnya?
No, have no clue.
$58 million US per year.
Not bad.
Who we talking about? Remember this guy? I showed you last night.
Украина это закрытый вопрос, то мне интересно Польша, да. Польша, да, чего добивается, да. После Украины, да, если будет команда, да, мы 6 секунд, да, покажем вам, на что вы способны, да. Лучше заберите, да, свое оружие, своих наемников, да, и попросите, да, официально извинения за нашего посла, да. Мы это просто не оставим, да. Имейте в виду, да.
$58 million, Don. It's what we're doing, Don. Karochi, Don. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
That's the leader of Chechnya. Hey.
I don't know why it was only to Poland.
Exactly.
I think,
why only to Poland?
It's why not to US? Please. I would like for him to start
million
from
dollars a year he's paid by Moscow. So today, as we talked earlier, you've got to keep some humor in this. So here you go.
Yes.
Everybody makes fun of this guy. He always using that terminology, don. All right, check this one. Well, forget all the funny. We have a little laugh, but it's Friday night. But check this out. Zhenya, he's on the big screen. He has the people surrounded around him on all that propaganda. They're listening to him like he's the best thing since sliced bread. And he's in Putin's pocket, of course. So when we go back to Yanukovych here, of course, that is in the pocket. Former president. And on this one, we're going to wait and see. I don't have a judgment either. All I can tell you is 100% he was at the border just a little while ago. So I have a question for you. The question of the night, and that is this. I did not preface you on this. You have no clue. But today, the number 7 came out. I have a question for you. And if you can't answer it, I'll drop some knowledge on you. What does the 7 mean?
The
I
7?
need the Jeopardy music.
Okay.
Do you know? He's thinking.
As I understand, it's ideas, which is like, propaganda using for,
Come on.
to grow up the fear in Ukraine.
And
And
what are they doing with the 7?
With the 7,
Da.
they drawing the borders.
Yes, because the 7 means what? Do you want a hint?
7?
You want a hint?
Okay, come on.
Okay. Ukraina plus 38. Россия plus 7. Telephone calling code.
Oh, yeah.
Kherson.
Yes.
Kherson. Zaporozhye. Donetsk. Lugansk. They came out today and said they're changing the country calling code from +38, which is Ukrainian, to +7. And you're sitting here as an American, many of you tonight going, well, what does that mean? That's because you live in America. Our code is +1. 1724, whatever you're 1405, 1 whatever. Ukraine plus 3.8. Africa, Tanzania, plus 2.52. Or Russia, plus 7.
This is again
Mm-hmm.
in one of the attempts to make something like important, to create a picture that these regions like are recognized, and so because until now they had the problems.
Mm-hmm.
The Donetsk and Lugansk passports, these like fake republics,
Yes.
are not recognized, not their passports internationally, and no Crimea banks. So the same was with the cell phone providers, the communication providers, and right now it's a new sign to the world that not just almost forcing people to change in having Russian passports, but they trying to build and to connect them. It's surely that it's just a first number. Let's say first two numbers. The third digit is a little bit different, but they trying to bind them to Russia. Everything.
That's exactly.
And it's like a sign to the world.
That's
Hello?
right. We're fighting.
This is
but
our
we want you to
borders.
know, world, not only are we giving out passports, not only are we trying to connect Russian infrastructure such as power systems, whatever, but also telephone codes changing. It's going to be Russia. And that tells the world, it tells the people there that are captured. And what I mean by captured, those that can't escape now, Ukrainians that love Ukraine, that want to be liberated by Ukraine because they're now in bondage to Russia. You're getting a passport, you're getting a +7, you have filtration papers, you have to go through checkpoints. If you work, we'll give you some food. I mean, this is what's really happening. But that tonight is the answer to what the +7 means. Pretty big deal. Now, with that said, I want to jump over here. I told you earlier we were going to talk about a couple of important guys that spoke today. This guy's important, Boris Johnson. Number one, best hair in the world. Secondly, this is what he said today. He said that the Russian military bites into the land of Donbass, achieving slow but tangible progress. We must increase the supply of weapons to Ukraine and to reach a peace agreement with Russia through concessions is impossible because Putin cannot be trusted. Basically, summarized, Boris said, get more weapons. There's going to be no peace. We have to fight him. Today, President Zielinski, Podoliak, Boris Johnson, they actually stated publicly, all three of them, and I know others did as well, but these guys, are some of the closest, Boris and Duda, as far as foreign leaders. Ukraine has lost some territory. It's been pretty difficult and pretty tough.
Not just territory, people.
We're going there.
Our soldiers.
Yes, we're going there right now, actually. Pretty major pushes in the east. I'm going to zoom in on that for us here now. Jane, we're recording this right before live, and then I can edit a couple of things, not our content, just to get the time right. But it's early in the morning for you there in Ukraine. For some reason, just right now, Kharkiv is under major bombardment. You probably saw that. We see the push out of Izum, looking on the right there. Severodonetsk is under intense pressure. I showed a video clip last night from Sky News. A lady did a phenomenal job going into Severodonetsk, and people were seeing the truth. One of the questions that came up last night was, I thought everybody had left. And I try to explain to people, like Severodonetsk, that is a city of 100,000 people. And a lot of these older people, pensioners, they don't have any family. They don't have any resources. They don't have any money. They don't have anything. And it's not as simple as you just go down the bus station and take a bus out. It's not happening. So, and the other thing is they don't leave their home.
Yes, you understand, like, it's, let's say, other side of Ukrainian life. It's, I would say, not so easy to talk about that, but basically, in understanding of a lot of people, they don't have, don't have the place where to go. I mean, we don't have like a free hospitals,
right?
Or like a free, hotels, social centers like this, who are like, empty and waiting for people. The crisis situation when people were were staying for nights for short period in the schools and the preschools, and it's almost over, not completely. And some of people, they were trying to get social support, the financial support, and we had big and still have big delays with that. People didn't get any, some of people, and it's not because of desire of our government.
Correct.
I believe it's because of serious situation with the money this is reality.
Yes.
So people's understanding, they're tired of living in school, for example, and and they were going back home, and because there is something, at least their walls, they're bad. It's one situation. The other situation, it's they don't want to risk with their life by getting inside the bus for evacuation, because they know the reality that these buses are not safe.
They're
because
targets.
This war is ugly and terrible, because right now the targets are medics, doctors, kids, families, all people.
And the building targets are schools and universities and hospitals.
Yes.
It's
ambulances.
You know, Zhenya, the bottom line is there was some reports that came out early this morning, and it's even where some of the Ukrainians were calling it, not just foreign people, but Ukrainians were saying, you don't understand, and you will see at some point, everything is gone. A lot of these cities and towns that they had destroyed, and the number a few weeks ago, President Zelensky said over 2,000 cities and towns either gone or destroyed. And it's impossible to wrap your mind around that, but it's the truth. And it's destroyed. Every building either is gone or damaged. And the Ukrainians were coming out saying, you don't realize what has happened behind the lines. That's why that slow crawl of just raising the territory. Now, if you go back to here, so they're intensifying on Kharkiv tonight. Saw that right before. And then Severodonetsk, that entire area, they're right on the edge of it. I've got a little clip here I'll play in a moment. And then, of course, pushing in from Donetsk. As we've been talking the whole time, and I'll change the color for us here, but this pinch right here is a problem. And then the last thing, just on this map before we move on, you notice they've gained territory here. And they've gained territory here. Mykolaiv is a serious target, and now, of course, Zaporozhye. But the Ukrainians are coming in, pushing back. It's just intense. It's extremely intense battles right now. I've got this image here, and you'll have to correct me, but is it Liman? Right here? Liman? You know, it was just a couple of days ago that was the city that was being battled for, and as you can see now, it's gone. The problem is, we've discussed it, and I know that's written in a language that folks watching can't read, but we can. That's below that arrow is the city of Slavyansk, and below that is Kramatorsk. And we have talked nonstop for months how that Kramatorsk is a very, very strategic location. And I know ultimately they want to get that city. And that is in the Donetsk Oblast, the Donetsk region. So getting pretty tight there. Now, with all of that said, this is what President Zelensky came out today and said. And I'll pop that up for you and we'll get your comment on this. He said, "What is the world looking at?" In fact, I've got something here I'll read to you. President Zelensky just a little while ago in his evening address said, "The situation in the Donbass, as expected, is very difficult. The occupiers are trying at least up to 100 days of war to achieve the goals that they had hoped to realize in the first few days of February. Therefore, they concentrated in the Donbass a maximum of artillery, a maximum of reserves. There are missile strikes and aircraft. We protect our land in the way that the defense resource available today allows us to. We are doing our best to strengthen." And that was his evening statement, among other things, and he gave his awards. But then, right here, today, earlier, he said, "What is the world looking at?" Zelensky said that the world is preparing for the likely use of a tactical nuclear weapon by Russia. Russian state propagandists are openly threatening nuclear weapons every day. That's the truth. This is not a joke. I showed the video even last night of the mobile propaganda trucks down in Mariupol, just brainwashing people. World politicians are preparing for the possibility of Russia using so-called tactical nuclear weapons, chemical or biological weapons. In the last statement, I even bolded this. He says, "Since Russia resorts to food and nuclear blackmail, that it may seem logical for other non-nuclear forces or nations in the world to acquire nuclear weapons for themselves. To say that this is dangerous for the whole world is to say nothing." Such a great point he made. By letting Russia do what they want, literally, and we're, doing whatever to support, but allowing this to happen when NATO could come in and it's over. But allowing it is telling other nations, a very wise statement by Zelensky today. They're going, okay, if they're going to do that to Russia, then maybe we need to think about how we're going to protect ourselves. We need to get better weapons. It's just like dominoes falling. And I think today, Zelensky, frustrated, aggravated. A lot of our troops, I'm sorry to say it, but I showed the video last night of the vacuum bombs being used on the lines of our soldiers. They were literally melted, burned up. And I know it's weighing heavily on Ukrainian leadership today, but it's, I think Zelensky's spot on. What do you think?
It's all the time. I mean, and I believe it's all the time a request, and it points to the worldwide, to the countries, to people, to governments. Please, please take attention to this. Like coming back to this +7.
Mm-hmm.
So if the world would be black and white attitude, just idea of changing, putting the numbers there would be like nothing. But the world is really worried, but still pays money the way Russia wants. Still
Correct.
buying something from Russia. So it looks like if the world will not change that kind of attitude, and okay, it's already Klitschko and Zelensky and the other people named it like okay, it's a bloody money,
Mm-hmm.
it's a blood of Ukrainians, and if you like pay for this, you support this, okay. But if the world will not change the attitude, like passports allowing people to fly, to travel, to work with all the passports registered in that area, or the bank system, because so many talks we had about the blocking SWIFT to Russia,
Yes.
but reality is no, we don't have it. The world said no, basically. But a lot of worry about that. And so,
This
I
is
mean, the black and the white attitude is the way out. It's a big help. It's a help number one. This is why we cannot say, I mean, oh, I don't know about like, yeah, something going on in Ukraine. I don't know what's going on.
Zhenya.
Hmm?
It's why I named the program tonight +7, because just think about that in concept.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to call your friends in Kherson,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have to dial +7. This is
Mm-hmm.
unbelievable. Okay, this cannot happen. And it's happening, and the world's letting it happen. One of the other guys that came out here today, as always, let me put this up here for us, Podoliak.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're talking about. He said this is
Mm-hmm.
Soensepic flamethrower system. Some partners avoid giving the necessary weapons because of fear of the escalation. Escalation? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Russian forces already uses the heaviest non-nuclear weapons against Ukraine, burning people alive. Maybe it's time to respond and give us MLRS. And we know that the United States is considering next week to deliver MLRS weapons. We were talking about that last night on the program. Some of those jokers have a range up to 300 miles. You put those on the northern border up at north of Chernihiv, they can reach Moscow. People don't understand how close the border of Ukraine to Moscow is. It's not that far. Really, it's not far. So it's going to create a whole nother variable, but Ukraine needs those weapons. In fact, I've got Podoliak here. Check out the translation. Here we go.
Вона дуже проста. Якщо Росія не програє, то реваншизм, шовінізм російський, він буде тільки набухати. Він буде ставати все більшим і більш масштабнішим. І війна, третя світова, якої вони так бояться, точно буде. Тому що Росія, вона буде нас ненавидіти набагато більше, бо ми принизили їх. Да? Ми довели, що це не друга армія в світі, що це взагалі якийсь зброд.
He is spot on. I really like that guy. He's very articulate, and he's telling the truth. He's the guy that's right here saying, okay, this is what's happening, and nobody's doing anything. We understand, yes, some stuff, but folks, our troops are being melted. On the right, today, Boris Johnson said, and he was interviewed by Bloomberg when he was traveling, and this is his quote. He says, it's absolutely vital we continue to support the Ukrainians militarily. Boris Johnson urges further military support for Ukraine, including sending it more offensive weapons to deal with Crocodile Putin. Here is my problem. Here's my problem. I agree 100%. I want to give you everything, but I want to give you more than everything. I want to put some guys on the ground to help, because it's almost like we're giving the Ukrainians weapons and saying, hey, good luck. Okay? When we know we could take them out. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. Jacob, you know there's some Americans fighting on the front lines?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Got some video today. So Americans are there. They've got 2 guys on the, whatever they're called. Maybe they're javelins. I don't know. Whatever. Rocket launchers. And there's one American off to the side. He's flying a drone. Russian tanks coming into the field. He tells them, and there's 3 or 4 Americans there, and they have a Ukrainian with them. And they go, cut through the woods, take out the tank, and you can hear the Americans trying to teach, trying to educate on how to do these tactics, use the drone for reconnaissance, take out the tank. Pretty cool. But more than that, how about we just show it?
Brian, you lead. Go.
Good American English. You can hear the tank.
Go. Shoot it now. Get up the backbone.
Get your backbone up.
Go.
This was the drone they were using for reconnaissance. Bam. You can see how close they were together. So, Zhenya, we know they're there. They're helping. And them boys are bad. Why can't we just put a lot of those boys in there? Did you freeze on me? I mean, I know the video was so great. Did you freeze on me? Did you see the video?
Yes, I've seen it in the morning. And now we'll comment a little bit later. It's a very special comment. I will give it to you about that video.
All right, give it.
Okay. About black and white. Sorry, I want to edit one more time.
Please.
The question is, a lot of people asking the question like this. Okay, what is the fault of some person because he was born in Russia, and why we are not the people? The world cannot be like a Nazi, like the people. Like, I mean, they're just normal people, and yes, but reality is that at this moment, the world could be open for for people, but being closed to Russia as a country, as a government, as an army, and because when it goes together, like with that kind of comment, like, hey, I'm, like, me personally, not killing anyone, so why you have such an attitude to me? That then this kind of people coming to some place, and they starting to asking Putin, come save us. So it's not a problem of nationality. Okay, it's a problem of country with its government, with its system, and sorry, but with its people who voting for this government, not fighting against of corruption, not fighting to stop the war. It's a problem. So it's nothing about the name. Sorry?
You can't fight against that government and live. They'll kill you, put you in prison,
Okay,
or poison
I
you.
understand. Okay, so
I agree with you, but I'm
then,
just saying they're completely in control. Yes.
Then the world is not black and white. The world didn't announce that anyone who will support at least once this government, this war, will never be allowed for travel in these airlines, for entering, getting visa in Europe or United States or Canada or other place. The world didn't make it. The world is, let's say, okay enough, because we have to be wise. We have to be careful with the words, but it's not possible be careful with the words for our families and the kids who lost their fathers and sons on the war on our territory against of much bigger country, with the hope that other countries who realizing the situation, they will help, and they are. We need to be quite, smart enough to be careful with the picking up the proper word for this. It's wrong. The world should be black and white. Otherwise, it's the same. There is no difference.
Correct.
With the people who say, okay, we cannot go outside on the streets because this government, will do something to our families. So the whole, not just Russian world, but the whole world, the other countries, doing the same things by, let's say, being okay enough, not, let's say, be happy with that situation, but somehow we will go through. Okay, let's maybe, yes, it's, to show all these sins with the blood and died people and died kids, and babies. Oh, it's no, it's not okay for our TV to show all of these, because it's, it's like a really bloody. It's like, yes, it can, this. It can change our, not change our maybe mood, or let's say it's too much for our kids to see it. So this is a reality.
You're describing the problem in the entire world right now, and the same thing, even with the school shooting in Texas that happened this week. We just want to be oblivious to everything and hope it gets better. And this is what we've come to tonight to close the program. Is I'm very concerned personally that if the United States gives these longer range weapons to Ukraine, do I want it to happen? 100%. No question. Do I want everything we've got? Absolutely. But here's my problem. If you're not willing to put some soldiers and boots on the ground with those weapons, all we're doing is feeding the fire for Putin to continue, and the battles will just get worse and worse and worse, and you eventually get limited resources on the Ukrainian side, limited people, the same on the Russian side. And the next thing you know, you're in World War III anyway. So if we're going to put heavier weapons there, let's put our boots on the ground there and take care of this. That's my issue, because the only way you're going to break that regime, the only way you're going to break down Putler is this. He must be destroyed. It's the only way Hitler was defeated. It's the only way that Saddam Hussein was defeated. These dictators, look through history, folks, for thousands of years. They do not go away and retire in some park. You must destroy that ideology. and it has to go away.
Ideology. This is
Ideology.
emphasizing ideology. It's not the person. It's
That's
not
right.
just a group of person. It's ideology, and doesn't matter if it's the ideology in the mind of people in Moscow or in some village, some far place. Doesn't matter. Maybe they don't know. I mean, they know nothing about like politics so deep, but they already got this disease in the mind, this
Yes.
ideology. So if the world will not fight and will not choose the side, then one of the next steps can be creating a prize for the people's life. Sorry, but it looks like that we can create, okay, let's find that price, how much this life can cost, like which price will be too much, or this is okay enough, because it's coming to money as well. I mean, I cannot, it's sorry for emotions, but it's like this. It's like, I mean, it's not possible. It's not possible. I mean, it's not possible. It's a chaos. It's going against of what God gave us. What God gave us, His truth, His Bible. He gave us His light. We cannot fake that we don't know where is truth. We cannot pretend, or like, I mean, playing this role. Hey, I don't know where is the truth. I don't know whose side is right. Or, hey, we have Ukraine, and it's our territory. And on Ukrainian territory, Russian tanks and artillery and airplanes killing our people. Let's guess on our territory, who is right?
You see my drawing
like,
there?
What did we do? Yes, the choice of love or choice of money, the choice of like own benefits, the choice of or like, okay, let's forget about truth, let's forget about like love, let's think about money. How much? Then the next will be how much the life of my son could be cost, because, and so on, and so on and so on. I mean, it's hard.
It's where we're at. It's where we're at. And my concern now, and I'm sorry to get you riled up in the middle of the night, but here's the deal. Money's greater than the heart right now. Money's greater than love. Money's greater than common sense. Money's greater than unity. Money's greater than peace. Money's greater than any other words you want to put in there. Money is greater, and money is running the world. It's not just Moscow. It's Washington, D.C. It's London, England. It's Rome, Italy. It's Kyiv, Ukraine. It's the world, and that's the spirit that must be broken, and the only way to break it for this war is to destroy the ideology, and people must come back to the understanding of the value of humanity and the value of people's lives. And my concern, and we've got everything documented. We can pull up any video from 93 days. If we get 10 days down the road, man, and we've dropped all these heavy weapons, I'm going to be happy. But man, if then we do not continue to help by doing something to the next level, which is boots on the ground, I'm concerned that all we did as a world is continue to put a price tag on Ukrainian lives.
Yesterday, people were killed, and 3 minutes walk from the place we were staying in Kharkov. And one father, he was carrying his baby.
5 months old.
5-month-old. Do you know that reality? The father was killed immediately. They realized and they counted him. But the baby was found on the roof of entrance a bit later. This is why there were no this baby in the beginning, because of the explosion. How much a family can afford to rise up the prices in just an average family in Europe for fuel or for heating, or how much? No, we don't like this conversation, but this is reality. And if the world will not start to spread it, to share it, to fight, to look for and request for leaders, and right now it's craziness. Yes, we don't even ask troops.
Correct.
And we have some help, but we don't have this piece of metal we're asking to fight against of the death bringers, death lovers, people with the ideas of okay, we need to wipe out the nation with the name Ukrainians, in the country with the name Ukraine. Okay.
Jacob, the sad thing is I'm still trying to fight against people, and I'm sorry, but we deal with truth here, who think Russia's right.
Come to volunteers.
Then
you will see. Will they check your nationality before throwing the missile to you? No, they don't care. Will you be like a peacemaker there? I mean, just a volunteer, the doctor, trying to help Russian or Ukrainian people.
Hey,
will they check? No, they will kill you.
Do you know? Do you know the Red Cross? Not the Red Cross organization, but like a medic wears a Red Cross, right?
Yes.
Do you know what that is for the Russians? A bullseye. A target.
This is what I'm talking.
That's all it is.
You may, while you're sitting there,
eating your popcorn, drinking your Coke, watching this video.
Yes, you can, the same way you can, crucify me, you can curse me, you can, doing whatever, but sit there, you're sitting there. If you're sitting there, and you are not the one who losing your neighbors, your friends, your families. I invite all peacemakers from all the world, all volunteers.
And make sure you also invite all of those that know everything.
Yes, all professionals.
Oh yeah, they know everything. Yes,
so please come.
Yes,
please come. You will teach there how to put the tourniquets, how to do everything there. You will teach all there. You can show, and then you will, and if you believe that, you will go live and telling, hey, here is the deliverers come, and you see I'm staying here. It's everything. Everything about that Ukrainians are good people and they like fighting just for freedom are not truth. The truth is these Russian soldiers, bringing freedom. Come, feed people. No, you will be sitting there. And telling and looking for the channels who will be. Pleasant your ears.
Pleasing your ears, exactly.
Pleasing your ears.
I have a question for you. You a bit of sleep tonight? Okay.
Yeah.
I fired you up good. Tonight went a little long, but man, it's like, each night, every day, it doesn't matter. 23 hours, it's shocking what changes. It's shocking.
And yes, the video you were playing in that forest.
Yeah.
we were bringing some food to these guys. No comments more.
They're some good guys.
Yes. And there's
Listen, whatever
other
you
guys.
do, whatever you do when you're on the lines there carrying the aid, make
Yes.
sure you feed the Americans, because at the Vajna, it's important.
Okay.
Hey, ammunition,
Yeah.
not a ride. All right, guys. Zhenka, spasibo огромное. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We'll continue to tell the truth. Everyone, thank you for being in here extra long tonight, but you couldn't pull away from this. This is better than a Hollywood flick. This was energy. This was expertise. I don't mind saying it. This was expertise, and this was telling you the truth and giving you the passion with it. So, folks, we'll have the next update for you. 23 hours. Tomorrow will be day 94. There's your heart. We love you. And Zhenya, as you've been doing, can you do it with me? On the count of three. Spokojnej noci na angielsku. 1, 2,
Давай.
3. Good night.
Good night.